Hello, everyone, and thank you for coming to PrEP Coverage Check, a PrEP medication verification tool. Today, we will be walking through how to verify PrEP medication on Pennsylvania's state-based exchange, which is penny.com. So our first step is to go to Pennsylvania's state exchange website. So that is penny.com, and you can see the address on my screen. Excuse me. So Penny is where Pennsylvanians would go to get health coverage. So our first step is to hit this gold button at the top, and that is Get Covered. All right. So now we will then browse for health and dental plans. And this page just talks about the Penny Plan Comparison tool. We would scroll down and hit Continue. All right, so on this page, we do need to fill in a couple items of information. So we would go ahead and press the coverage year, which is 2022. We do want to find health plans for 2022 and the PrEP medications that are covered under this plan year. You would put your zip code. So I went ahead and put 15217, which is a zip code in the Allegheny area. In Pittsburgh. And then you would add a date. And so, for the purpose of this activity, I'm just putting just a random birth date. And then we would go to the bottom and press Browse Plans. And so if it was your client that was coming in and you were going through this with them, you would put in the client's zip code and date of birth. So now, instead of sharing about our healthcare needs, this is looking up different doctors underneath a health plan. We're going to skip through this section, but then when it comes to the different medications that we are looking for, we will stop here and add in the 3 different PrEP drugs that we want to look at. So first, I'm going to put in Truvada, which is a brand name drug for PrEP. And then we're going to select the 200 and 300 milligrams because that is the correct dosage for PrEP. Because as you are aware, Truvada is also used as an antiretroviral therapy for treatment. So we've got our Truvada. Now I'm going to do the other brand name medication for PrEP, and that's Descovy. We're going to choose the 225 milligram tab, as that's the dosage for PrEP. And then lastly, we'll put in our generic option for PrEP, and that is emtricitabine, tenofovir, disoproxil. And that's going to be the last one on the bottom. And again, we will choose the 200 to 300 milligram tab. And as you can see, on penny.com, it shows for underneath the brand name drugs, the generic name. And for Truvada, the generic name is matching the generic option, the emtricitabine tenofovir, as this is the generic Truvada. So now that we have our medications that we would like to see included in a plan, we're going to go and press View Plans. So now, as you can see on this screen, there's 58 health plans that have come up with for the zip code that I provided and the date of birth, all that basic information I shared at the beginning. But 58 health plans came up. And as you can see on the screen, for each of the health plan highlights, it also includes information about coverage for Truvada, Descovy, and generic Truvada, so generic TDF FTC. So looking at all these plans just very quickly, you can see that it looks like all of these PrEP options are covered. But to really get more understanding of the true coverage, you would need to click on the plan to find out a little bit more. So you also could hover over the check marks. And as you can see for Truvada, prior authorization is required. But when we go over the generic Truvada, prior authorization is not. So we're going to go ahead and check that out. So I pressed on a plan, the plan details. We see these 3 check marks again. But to get more of an understanding, I'm going to go to this plan's drug list. So it'll ask you if you want to leave the page. Yes, proceed. And then it'll open up another tab. So I'm going to go on here again and type in Truvada and then select the 200, 300 milligram. I'm going to search and it comes up with both the generic option and the brand name option for Truvada. So I'm going to click on the generic option and it comes up here. So underneath this health plan, it has the generic name, the class, the dose, the tier status, and then some notes and restrictions. And they come with a handy dandy legend to show you what each of these icons mean. So as you can see, for generic TDF-FTC, so generic Truvada, it is a $0 copay. So this is the PrEP medication that is covered with $0 cost sharing underneath this selected health plan. We can go back and I'm going to press Truvada, the brand name. And for the brand name, so Truvada 200, 300 milligrams, it says that prior authorization is required, step therapy. This medication would not be covered with $0 cost sharing because really the health plan is covering the generic option. I'm going to go back and do this again for Descovy. Press search, click the medication. And then this one also is not covered with $0 cost sharing, but it does not have a prior authorization icon either. So that is just for one of the health plans. I'm going to go back to this screen. So the health plan that we did a deeper dive in was this Together Blue EPO Gold 0. But I can go back to all the health plans and see that all of these drugs are covered, but some have more restrictions than others. And to learn more about what those restrictions are, you would click on the health plan and look at those plan details, but also, doing the hover over as well. So this was a brief walkthrough on how to verify PrEP medication coverage under health plans on the Pennsylvania state-based exchange. If you have any questions about finding your plan information or the medication information, please contact us at prep@nastad.org. Again, that's prep@nastad.org. And thank you for watching this video.